It is the same year, but ROG decided to launch yet another generation of the ROG Phone. Actually, no, not only ROG, because everyone else is also launching their new generation of devices just 10 months after the last one, but I digress. This is the new ROG Phone 9 Pro edition, and what we have it attached to is the new AeroActive Cooler X Pro that is included in the box for the Pro edition. This new cooler brings a lot of improvements, and also they are bringing back some of the features that weren't present before. Please do like and subscribe because this entire test did take a very long time, as ROG decided to push 3 firmware updates after we have finished doing all of the testing. Great job. Now, at first glance though, the AeroActive Cooler X Pro now looks more or less the same as what we had before on the AeroActive Cooler X from the ROG Phone 8. There are RGB lights that light up the ROG logo, 2 buttons at the shoulder for better gaming experience, and also a Peltier cooler to further cool the device down to sub-ambient temperatures. So let's talk about the performance side first. This new AeroActive Cooler X Pro now comes with a much larger Peltier cooler of 36 by 38mm, and the fan blades are also 12.5% larger. According to ROG's numbers, this new cooler can perform 29% better than before. Essentially, the AeroActive Cooler X Pro also functions the same as the previous generation. In the Armoury Crate software, we can change between 4 modes: Smart, Cool, Frosty, and Frozen. The Frozen cooling mode requires the cooler to be connected to the charger, so that's why we cannot press it on this shot here. The ROG Phone 9 also technically has 3 power profile modes. The first one is with X mode turned off, and the thermal limit is only at 41 degrees Celsius, which is actually very low, though it is sufficient enough for daily usage and not gaming. Then if we turn on X mode, the thermal limit goes up to 57 degrees Celsius. That is extremely high for a mobile device. Then when we put on the AeroActive Cooler X Pro, it will automatically change to become X mode Plus. Now, I'm not sure what's the difference here between X mode Plus and the basic X mode, because the highest loop score seems to be more or less the same anyway. Of course, we also did a bunch of tests, and here are the results. For me, I do think that the Smart Cooling mode is the best here, since it will automatically change the cooling mode depending on the temperature. From our 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme Stress test, it suddenly changed from a lower fan speed to a higher fan speed, and that is because the phone is hotter and it needed extra cooling, so the fan just get ramped up. That's pretty much how the Smart Cooling mode works. I honestly do think that the ROG Phone 9 can already perform very well and is able to handle the Snapdragon 8 Elite's heat anyway, even though it does reach 49 degrees Celsius when we are playing a game. Having a cooler will lower the temperature further, but the frame of the phone will still be a bit warm, so do keep that in mind. But then again, the AeroActive Cooler X Pro has 2 extra buttons that will be great for gamers. We can program the 2 buttons to either press some other things in the game or do something else, and I just think that it's very convenient. The grip of the cooler is more or less the same as the previous one though. Because how the buttons are positioned closer to the center of the phone, it is a bit awkward to press if you don't hold the phone in a specific grip. And every time I press these buttons on the coolers, the phone could slide down, because it did happen to me a few times. Luckily, the buttons can be actuated by pressing either at the side or the back as well, so there are some flexibility on how we want to grip the entire contraption and press those buttons. ROG also brought back one feature, and that is the subwoofer. The new AeroActive Cooler X Pro, it has a built-in subwoofer which was not present on the previous generation AeroActive Cooler X. And that's not the only thing that ROG added in terms of the audio experience. The ROG Phone 9's first-party cases now comes with audio redirection channel, which will make the ROG Phone 9 sound like there is a stereo front-facing speaker system. Combined with the AeroActive Cooler X Pro subwoofer, this will sound even better than what we had before. Have a listen to the comparisons here. The AeroActive Cooler X Pro will also come with one USB-C port and also an audio jack too. This USB-C port is meant for charging, so we can charge the phone with the cooler attached or use bypass charging at the same time. As for the audio jack though, you can connect an earphone and have the cable go downwards, so it is out of the way. I'm just glad that ROG retained the audio jack on the cooler because Bluetooth audio still sucks because of audio latency. And when gaming is involved, having low latency audio is a must. By the way, the AeroActive Cooler X Pro can also be installed on the ROG Phone 8. And if you have the AeroActive Cooler X from earlier this year, it also works on the ROG Phone 9. So that is great because ROG made the coolers cross-compatible between generations. And that is it for the AeroActive Cooler X Pro this time around. All in all, I do think that there are some updates here and there, but it is quite minimal. It comes with a larger Peltier cooler, larger fan blades, and also brought back the subwoofer feature from the ROG Phone 7's AeroActive Cooler 7, I think. I can't remember the name, but yeah, they literally just skipped the subwoofer on the ROG Phone 8's cooler, and then now they brought it back. The new AeroActive Cooler X Pro is included in the box if you are getting the ROG Phone 9 Pro Edition, and this cooler is also sold separately. You will have to use this aero case to be used in tandem with the cooler, and that is also included in the box with the cooler if you purchase it separately, if that makes sense. I still don't have the price of this cooler yet, but we will update you in our full review of the ROG Phone 9, which will come later. So do subscribe and we will see you there.